now.
Be reverent, people. Do not sit on food like you just did, Sam. Sam, sitting on food is not okay.
Here, Sam, how about you come sit by me?
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Good.
Good.
Okay, tonight we're going to be reading from 1 Nephi chapter 9 about why Nephi had to make 2 sets of plates.
Does that seem like a weird thing to do? If you've gone through and written like
On metal.
yeah, but let's say even if you had to write on paper, right? Like Dad had gone and written a whole book, right? And then you decided I'm going to copy everything Dad wrote. Would you want to do that?
Not necessarily word for word, but pretty much the same story.
Really?
You're like, I know you said this story, but now I'm going to write the same story.
Now, do you think you'd want to do it even less if you had to chisel it in metal? Like, would that be like the worst handwriting practice ever?
I think it would be.
Whenever I write too
So that would not be fun.
be like a
Okay,
spare.
Sam, you sit over here, please.
I guess it would be like a spare or something.
Yeah, but it would not be fun to do,
What?
right?
Like,
It would
is
be
it-
hard.
Is he like talking about the boring ball spare or like what spare?
No, a spare set means like an extra set or a backup set, which is exactly what it was because, listen everyone, okay? The Lord's wise purpose in having Nephi create 2 records became clear centuries later.
David,
After Joseph
I'll take
Smith
care of it.
translated the first 116 manuscript pages of the Book of Mormon, he gave the pages to Martin Harris, who lost them. But Nephi's second set of plates covered the same time period. And the Lord commanded Joseph Smith to translate the plates rather than retranslate what had been lost.
Wait, but how long is it first and second Nephi together? I don't know if they're both exactly the same or not.
They are not exactly the same, but it's not the point. Because let's go ahead and read from what Nephi was commanded to do.
So is it one?
Okay. What do you mean? Is it 1?
Like, there's that up. Is it like the first thing? I think he's talking about.
Yeah. Start at verse 1.
Okay. And it came to pass that the Lord commanded me before I did make. Wait. Oh,
Not
plates.
before.
Plates.
Not before.
Wherefore I did make plates. That kind of sounds weird because there's like this plate, but then there's plates.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, huh?
Or that I might ever again?
No.
No.
Here, just look at. I don't know if you've ever read this word before. Can you highlight that, Dad?
Rib? See what I rib on?
Can you just highlight?
Engraven,
What does that mean?
to scratch into or to chisel out of something that is permanently scratched into something, kind of. Does that make sense?
So if you mess up, you gotta scribble it out.
Pretty much.
You gonna continue?
Upon the
Record. Yeah, it's the same. It's spelled the same, but this is a noun. A record. It's like
Is it like the tapes then?
Well, record means something, a place where you store something. So a record could be a tape or a kind of like a disc, like a record player.
A box.
Anything that stores information
Yes.
is a record. Okay.
Of my people, and upon the plates which I made, I did engrave the record of my father, and also
Journ is correct. Yeah. Keep going. Journeyings.
Journeyings?
Yeah, journeyings. You know what a journey is?
Oh, like an adventure? Trip?
So our journeyings, so like plural journey, right? Or journeys.
But then it's just added an ing to it.
In the wilderness, on an adventure to the wilderness. And the prophets,
Not prophets. Close enough.
ra,
Yeah, it's related to the word prophets, but it's what the prophets do. It says prophecies.
what is a prophecy?
A prophecy is what a prophet gives. They make a prophecy, which is
Prophet.
what they say is going to happen, right? And
Then
they talk about the future and what you need to do. Those are prophecies.
I engraved
And the prophecies of my
Father, and also many of mine who upon
not upon.
they own
Mm-hmm.
prophecies have I engraved upon them.
Yep. And I knew not at the time when I made them that I should be commanded of the Lord to make these plates. Wherefore the record of my father and the genealogy of his fathers, and the more part of all our proceedings in the wilderness are engraven upon those plates which I have spoken. Wherefore the things which I transpired before I made these plates are of truth, more particularly made mention upon the first plates.
I'll do
3.
4. I'll do 4.
Okay.
Maylee.
And after Maylee, you gonna help us read?
I don't think Mel wants to.
Okay.
And after I had made these plates by way of commandment, I, Nephi, received a commandment that the ministry and the prophecies and the more plain and precious parts of them should be written upon these plates, and that the things which were written should be kept for the instruction of my people, who should possess the land, and also for other wise purposes, which purposes are known unto the Lord.
Wherefore I, Nephi, did make a record upon the other plates, which gives an account, or which gives a greater account of the wars and contentions and destructions of my people. And this have I done, and commanded my people what they should do after I was gone, and that these plates should be handed down from one generation to another, or from one prophet to another, until further commandments of the Lord.
So accounts are kind of like stories, but more like telling you things that happened. So when you say you have an account, or accounting company keeps track of all, so you have a bank account. A bank account tells a story. It's a pretty boring story, but it tells you every time you spend money or put money into the bank, those kinds of things. That's what a bank account is. So if you have an account on the story, it tells you the things that happen in order. Tell the story.
So, and an account of my making these plates shall be given hereafter Behold, I proceed according to that which I have spoken, and this I do, that the more sacred things may be kept for the knowledge of my people.
So did Nephi know why he had to make 2 sets of plates?
No,
No, he didn't.
he
But-
had
But what?
that much faith. He decided there's probably some reason for this, so I guess I'll just copy this over. Even if it's really hard, it must be important. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been asked to do this.
Yep. So this is a good story to remember. The next time God asks you to do something that seems dumb, right? It's like, what? But I've already done this, or whatever, or like someone else has done this. Like, why do I have to do this again?
It probably
So
has
whenever
a
you think of that, remember the Lord has wise purposes in asking us to do those things.
Yes, if you've been asked to do something, there's probably a reason.
And probably the same thing goes, even if it doesn't come directly from the Lord, usually if it comes from your bishop, from your parents, from the prophet, right?
Yep.
There will be lots of times when someone might tell you to do something and you think, that doesn't make sense to me. But sometimes we just do it anyways. Because usually the people who are leading you are there for a reason, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes, I'll admit, sometimes you'll be asked to do stupid things, and you know what? They're stupid. But do you think that you get blessed for doing the stupid things that you've been asked to do anyways?
Yep.
And you can go back and say, you know what? I think it might be better if we did something else instead. But what do you think you should do? So say your bishop came up with some program that he wanted to do a certain way, and you came back and said, you know, I really think it would be better if we did it this other way. What if he still decides to do it the first way?
Then we do it the first
Should you
way.
go like, no, the bishop was wrong, and we're gonna tell everyone how wrong he was?
And then
Or do you think you should
suddenly
just
the
maybe
program-
just do it the way that the bishop asked you to do it?
because otherwise the
Just.
program probably wouldn't have worked as well.
Maybe he knows something that you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you just didn't like the idea and your idea was better, and that's okay. That's kind of what we do in the church. We support each other.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, your bishop comes up with something like go kill people that you really shouldn't be doing. Like,
Yeah, if he's asking you to do something that's not bad,
Yep.
but it seems dumb, that's
Yes.
sometimes we do it because we love the people who serve us.
Yeah. But
support
there won't be dumb ideas that you probably shouldn't support from people, but still very low.
And there's places to go
Yep.
back with feedback, but
So let it be written.
So
let
it be
done.
That's how I keep it down.
dun dun dun.
Oh, remember that game we were playing? Oh yeah, we got it built.
Sit on Danny's back.
Okay, let's should we do some family prayers?